What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Pastor Bobby, and you are watching Living the Godspired Life with your host, Pastor Bobby. I'm here in the beautiful Student Center of Hampton University, attending the Hampton University's Ministers Conference, and next to me, I got my boy, the Reverend Dr. H.J. Morrison, recently installed as pastor over in Portsmouth, doing a great work. Say hello to everybody, brother.
What's going on, everybody? How are you?
And so we just want to give you guys a wonderful God-inspired show on today. We want to talk about some things. So, brother, you're a big social justice kind of pastor, and you see all the injustices that have been going on in the recent years and months and everything like that. As the church, how can we be prepared and prepare others to be more vocal, more impactful in the social climate that we have right now?
Great question. I'm glad you asked. Listen, so the first thing I want to say is that we've been called to both witness and to justice. And the cross brings us to an intersection of both justice and mercy. Yeah. And so the work is important and the work must be done. So what we can do as a church is, one, learn the power of our voice. I think that, as time goes on, we have diminished our own voice because we've become more concerned with what happens inside the walls of our church, versus what's happening on the outside and the conditions in which our people that we serve live in. And so I think that for that reason, we've got to be concerned more about not only their spiritual life, but we've got to show up in their economic life. We've got to show up in their day-to-day living situations. So their economic, racial, social, all of it is very important. This is a both and fight. It's not exclusive to its own self. And so once we learn the power of our voice, and then we step into the power of our influence, instead of trying to lead from our titles and positions so often, we need to learn how to leverage our influence.
That's good.
And make those connections.
So, you'll have some people in the church, because I was a part of a discussion just a few months ago of a group of pastors and stuff, and some people believe that the church is too socially activist. And so what do you say to those in the kingdom that say we need to keep the kingdom and social justice and social issues at a minimum in the kingdom, man?
Right. And on that end, I
told y'all we at Hampton University. We got people in the background
walking past. And so on that end, I would say, actually, if injustice is still occurring, that means we're not involved enough. And so when we look at the mission, the pattern, the reason why Jesus even came to earth and how he describes his ministry, then that's what ministry should be about. And he says, he's anointed me to preach the gospel first to the poor.
That don't mean in the kingdom or out there. That's
just who I've been called to. And so when we look at how Jesus describes his own ministry, how dare we say that we are too involved? And so if injustice is still occurring, then we're not involved enough. And so whether it's my neighbor, my sister, my friend, my brother, whomever it is, as much as you've done it unto the least of them. And let me not skip those first three words because I think they're important. In as much. As you've done it unto the least of them. Not in as least, not as in less, in as much as you've done it. So we've been called to continually do it.
And I think that's important as a church, because Jesus' ministry was completely grassroots. I mean, you think about the charge that he was crucified for. It was sedition. That means political. He was a political threat to the status quo. You know? And so Jesus' charge for death was a political assassination. And so if we want to be like Christ, we should definitely be involved in social justice, social issues, social activism, but coming from a kingdom perspective, and things of that sort. Man, I'm so grateful that you come and hollered at me today. Before you go, please tell everybody how they can reach you. Tell them where your church is and everything like that.
All right, so I'm Pastor H.J. or Hugo Morrison. Most people call me H.J., whatever one you want. I'm the pastor of the Union United Church of Christ, located at 877 Gulf Street in the city of Norfolk, Virginia, in the Huntersville section. Listen, come join us. Check us out. Service begins at 10:30. You can contact me via church phone, or my email still is youthpastorhj@gmail.com. And so holla at your boy.
And remember, I'm Pastor Bobby. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Christian Entertainment Television, and like our page on Facebook, Christian Entertainment Television. You can reach me at Pastor R. Lavelle Brown at yahoo.com. We love you. And this was Living the Godspired Life with your boy, Pastor Bobby. Remember to have a Godspired life. Peace.